Hey guys, before we get going, I'm going to start a new giveaway for a free 1-month subscription to join our Discord server. So follow to the end of the video to figure out how to enter. Hey guys, how's it going? Solo back with another daily stock market video talking about stocks and options trading. And let's take a look at Luminar Technologies, ticker symbol LAZR. This is a stock that we haven't looked at in over a week now. But my first video went really well. It seemed like you guys were really into the stock. So let's do a follow-up video. Let's talk about how we traded on Friday. Let's talk about some recent news that came out this week, both good and bad. And then, as always, we'll finish the video looking at the technical analysis, do some updates with new levels of support and resistance. And then we will end up the video looking at the option flow data to see what the big money, what the hedge funds and the institutional investors were doing on the last trading day on Friday. So let's get right into it. Looking at the Robinhood trading graph here, you can see Luminar kind of was flat all day long. And then really during power hour, the last 20 minutes of power hour just took off to the moon. In general, the whole stock market was very wild within the last 10 or 15 minutes of market close. And Luminar was no exception. It also just rocketed. It went from about $26.24 to close at $27.62. So over a dollar jump in the matter of minutes. And then take a look at this. After hours, it went parabolic. It went as high as $29.50 and sold off just a little bit before 6 p.m. Eastern time. So all in all, Luminar was up 10% on the day because of this power hour pump, and another 5.1% in after hours trading. So altogether, ended up the day up 15%. What a strong way to close out the trading week. So let's take a look at the weekly graph because we haven't looked at this in quite some time. And take a look at this. We were doing pretty well, had this huge sell-off. We fell off a cliff, and I know why that happened. I'm going to show you the news article of what caused this huge sell-off. But then we were slowly just melting up the next 3 trading days. And look at this huge spike after hours on Friday is what I like to see. So let's take a look at the news articles that what caused this huge sell-off, and then why I am actually short-term bullish on LAZR. So let's take a look at it. So here's an article on MarketWatch that explains what happened. So this was put out on December 15th, towards the end of the trading day, and it's titled Luminar Stock Plunges after news that Mobileye plans to make its own lidar sensors. So what happened is, Mobileye is another company. They're actually a division of Intel. And up until now, Luminar was actually supplying Mobileye with their lidar sensors. And you can see it says they plan now to develop in-house lidar sensors to use in driverless cars by 2025. So basically what's happening is that Mobileye was a customer of Luminar, and now Mobileye is saying, you know what? We're just going to make this ourselves because it'll be more cost effective for us. We can do it in-house, it'll be cheaper, and we can make more profits. So obviously, investors saying, oh no, Luminar is going to lose business. So that's why the stock sold off. So you can see that the initial deal was for Luminar and Mobileye. This deal was signed in November to supply lidar for Mobileye's pilot fleet of robotaxis in a few cities around the world. It goes on to say that the Luminar units would cost between $10,000 and $20,000 spread over many trips since they are being used in robotaxis. And they go on to say right here, in-house sensors would be cheaper. So a Luminar spokesperson says that achieving high-performance lidar at a sub $1,000 cost is key for production vehicles, and Luminar is the first and only company to make that happen. So it seems like Intel or Mobileye is going to have to figure out what they want to do. Can they actually make the same systems that LAZR is making or Luminar Technologies is making for a cheaper price? Because it seems like Luminar has really cut costs and have been able to make their product much cheaper than everybody else. It looks like they've partnered directly for that reason, it says, with Luminar contractually delivering lidar that exceeds these cost and performance requirements for the 2022 launch and beyond. Luminar, if you don't know, recently just went public through a SPAC. So it's a relatively new company, which we'll see in a few minutes when I do the updated technical analysis. But this is why the stock sold off, because they are possibly going to lose one of their biggest customers, which would mean lower revenue and lower profits. Now, after this article came out, actually just yesterday, there was an article put out, you can see December 18th around 2 p.m. Eastern time. And this article on Yahoo Finance was titled Luminar Technologies Breaking Down Deutsche Bank's New Bullish Call. Okay, so an analyst at Deutsche Bank, Emmanuel Rosner, who covers LAZR, he issued a buy rating and a $37 price target. So in a few minutes, when we look at the technical analysis, let's see where that $37 price target lies. But right now, it says investors are looking at an upside of 40% should this analyst's theories play out over the coming months. So why does he think that, right? This is what the article says. He thinks that the lidar business has a addressable market of maybe $40 billion by 2030. So he thinks that vehicle autonomy adoption is poised to take off. And they think that this company is going to become the leader in lidar solutions. So he goes on to say that it looks like they have a superior product. It says its differentiated lidar technology featuring proprietary architecture and components is essentially the only one delivering the performance needed for highway speed autonomy at the right cost, and already received external validation from Volvo, Daimler, and Mobileye through production contracts. So it seems like LAZR has a few deals already set up with some big companies for their product. So he is rather bullish, and I'll tell you what, reading through this article, he's convinced me to be bullish too, if he really thinks that lidar is going to be a $40 billion industry in the next 10 years. And if he thinks that LAZR is actually the best company for the job right now. They seem to be a leader in the field, according to his analysis. So he's expecting Luminar sales to have a steep upwards curve over the coming years. So he's basically saying that he thinks this company is going to go parabolic in the next few years. He thinks the company will shift from selling 500,000 sensors in 2025 to more than 6.5 million in 2030. That's a crazy jump, crazy jump. So he thinks obviously that revenue is going to go up as well from 635 million in 2025 to 4.5 billion in 2030. So kind of crazy, kind of crazy. Overall, there's not that many analysts that are covering LAZR right now, but it looks like buy ratings have assigned to the stock in the last 3 months, which add up to a moderate buy just in consensus. And the $39 strike, or the $39 price, is the average price target, which puts the potential upside at almost 50%. So this article, which just came out, is very bullish. And I will say, they may have convinced me that LAZR is the real deal if this analysis is correct. Let's take a look at the TradingView chart to see what the technical analysis shows us. So here's the TradingView graph on LAZR. You can see not a lot of action until it kind of went public, I would say, on November 19th and really started trading. We've had our ups and we've certainly had our downs. So if you're new to the channel, this is tradingview.com. Every candle here, I like to look at the daily candles. So every candle represents 1 day of trading. The orange line represents the 21-day moving average. The pink line represents the 50-day moving average. This is the RSI at the bottom. And I usually do Fibonacci levels, but it was difficult because there was not a lot of pricing data, but we will add that in today's video. And these yellow lines represent areas of support and resistance. So first off, let's just draw some fib levels to see what we're working with here. So I'm going to draw it from the bottom of this candle, which seems to be the most recent low on November 19th. And then we'll draw it to the top of this candle here on December 8th, which seems to be the all-time high intraday. So that's going to look something along the lines of this. And so we'll leave that up there to see how the data kind of follows that. Now, it was quite some time. It was about a week or so, actually over a week, before I looked at this in terms of doing TA. So let's see if we can do some updated TA. Right now, I find it interesting that right here at the 61.8% Fibonacci level is right where this candle closed recently on December 16th. And we've kind of bounced off that level. So I think I'm going to use this as an area of support right now, because not only that, it looks like intraday on December 3rd, the wick kind of topped out there as well. So I am liking about $24.60 as an area of support right now. Let's see if we can keep working. And I actually like this point right here, which is going to be in line with the 38.2% Fibonacci level at about $33.50, because again, this intraday low on December 10th bottomed out there, And then this intraday high on December 11th topped out there. So we'll leave that up there too. I think there's not enough price action up here for me to find a clear area of support or resistance right now higher than $33.50. But I think this gives us enough to work with right now. The reason why I'm actually looking a little bit bullish right now on LAZR in the short term on Luminar Technologies, and that's because it looks like we've bounced off this support at about 24.50 and we're on our way up. We closed the day green. The next area of resistance that I see is actually $33.50, but there's got to be some area of resistance because that's a little bit too wide. It's almost $10 wide. I'm wondering if the 50% Fibonacci level right here at about $29 is going to act as resistance. We'll have to wait and see. There's just not a lot of price action there for me to make a definitive argument for that, but we'll keep an eye on it. My prediction right now in the short term, meaning in the next coming trading days, maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I think we'll continue our uptrend to at least $29. And then I want to see what happens from there. Are we going to bounce off it, or are we going to continue all the way up to $33 or so? That's what I'm looking to see. RSI is not really overbought or oversold. Yes, it is a little bit towards the overbought side, but not by much. It's at about 58, 59. So that's really the updated TA that I want to leave you with on LAZR right now. Let me know in the comments below if you have shares or if you have options. Let's finish up the video by looking at the option flow data on Friday to see what the big money did. So here's the trade UI option flow data on LAZR for Friday. You can see only 4 sweep orders came in. They were all actually the same order, the January 15th, 2021 expiration at the $30 strike. And you can see they were for about a total of $200,000. So right now, this is the 30 strike. They were all calls. Green boxes represent calls, options that were bought. So they're all looking at the $30 strike. So right now we close the day at $27.62. So that tells me that even the big money is bullish on LAZR because they bought 30 strike calls. $30 is right about here. And remember, I said earlier in the video, the average analyst price target was $39. That's all the way up here. That's actually right around the 23.6% Fibonacci level. So it seems as though the TA is showing us that we're going to be at least bullish short term. The analysts think we're going to be bullish in the midterm, I would say, in the coming month or so. And even the option flow data is suggesting that we're going to be bullish in the coming month or so. So I'm actually really liking LAZR right now based on what I've read about the company, based on what the TA is showing us, based on what the option flow data is. All right, as promised, if you guys want to win a free 1-month subscription to the Discord server, all you have to do is tell me what price do you think LAZR is going to close this coming Friday at the end of the day? What do you think the market price will be at the end of market close, 4 p.m. Eastern time? Closest person to the actual stock price without going over the Price is Right rules will win a free 1-month subscription to the Discord server. So leave a comment below with what your price prediction is.